Good evening and welcome to another edition of my show, One Man Show. I'm your Z-Man, Z Zoltai. This evening we're going to feature tobogganing at Ohio's only public frozen toboggan chutes, and they're really close by in Strongsville, Ohio, in the southwestern corner of Cuyahoga County. Part 2 of tonight's show, we're going to spotlight children's speed skating and those events that take place at the Winterhurst Ice Rink in Lakewood. One Man Show is loading the computer back at the studio and ready to go. Sit back and enjoy, because One Man Show starts now. We've done a lot of wintertime sports on One Man Show, tobogganing in past years. Never anything quite the tobogganing that we're going to show everybody here tonight at the Chalet in Strongsville, though. Remember the dog sled show of a couple years ago? So we're not afraid to step out into the cold elements of wintertime. With me now is Carolyn, and we're at the Chalet in Strongsville. Tonight, in the next couple of minutes, we're going to go down the tobogganing chutes. We're going to find out how to sit into a toboggan, and find out more about this great facility. Carolyn, thank you for being with us tonight on One Man Show.
Oh, you're welcome. We're glad to have you.
Now, how long have you been in charge of the Chalet here?
Well, I just started running the facility myself this season. I've been here for 4 years as an assistant, helping manage the facility, and just started doing it myself this season. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Now, you and I were talking, too, when we first sat down, that originally there were metal toboggan chutes here at the Chalet before the concrete.
They were concrete and steel. Yeah, and now they were redesigned in 1996. They were redesigned in their fully concrete chutes. So.
Now, this is more than just a wintertime facility, too. There's a lot of things going on in and around the Chalet year-round.
We have several different things going on during the off-season when we're not having tobogganing. First of all, we have hay rides in October, which is quite fun. On Saturdays and Sundays, you can come out and enjoy a hay ride. In the summertime and even in the spring and early fall, we're a popular facility as far as renting the facility for weddings. So you can have your wedding here, you can have your reception here. Companies like to have their events here as well. So we get rentals year round, and that's pretty much the different events that we have. And it's a pretty happening place.
Well, that's interesting. There's a lot to do here, so that means then if even I wanted to bring my office down here, we wanted to have our staff meeting, depending on the time of the year, we could actually rent out part of the Chalet for that staff meeting, right?
You sure can.
Can we have this fireplace behind us, too?
You sure can.
Now, how many employees roughly work here at the Chalet in the wintertime and in the summertime? Do you have more workers in the summer versus the winter, or is it about the same?
Well, in the wintertime, we actually have more workers because we have tobogganing. So we can have up to about 60 employees in the wintertime, and we go down to about 20 employees in the summertime. So.
Now, are these all full or part-time or a mixture of both?
Well, we have seasonal employees, and they work the different seasons. For example, hay rides in October, tobogganing in the winter, and then and we have high school students, college kids, all kinds of different age groups, and that's pretty much it. So.
Now, your hay rides are really unique here in the metro parks, and that you allow the people in the wagons to throw straw on each other. I really haven't seen that anywhere else. How long has that tradition been here? And is that something that we can expect in years to come, too? It's
been going on for years, and you can definitely expect to see it, in years to come. It's a fun event. I mean, the kids really enjoy it, and they have a good time with it.
Now, in a minute or two here, you and I are going to saddle up on a toboggan, go down the chutes here. There's twin chutes at the Chalet. Real quick, is there any plans to build a third and fourth chute, maybe? Is it that popular?
We're not that popular, but we do pretty well with the two chutes that we have. Sometimes we'll have lines, but especially during holiday hours, we're quite popular. People like to come out and enjoy the facility.
And you and I were talking too about the material that's in the sled. The center part of the toboggan is actually made of oak, but then it's a plastic, almost imitation type wood. It's an artificial wood on the outside. Is that customary for all the toboggans? They have a mixture of that wood, and do you know why there's a mixture of both?
Well, they tend to last longer if we do it that way. The wood in the center it's a hickory. It's made of a hickory with the plastic on the outsides, and the toboggans tend to last longer if they're made that way.
Now, what if somebody wants to bring one of their younger kids, say a 4, 5, or 6-year-old? Is this really something that's suitable for them to come here and do?
All children must be 42 inches. I'm sorry.
That's all right. 42. That's sort of like the amusement parks, then, right? Yeah.
42 inches or taller to ride, and it's a state amusement regulation that we have to adhere to. Just like if you go to Geauga Lake and to ride a roller coaster, you have to be 42 inches or taller to ride. So.
Now, I remember too a few years back that the little ones actually have to have an adult or someone larger in the front and then behind them to ride the toboggans. Correct?
Not. Yeah, if you have a little child, we would like for an adult to be in the front and the back. It's safer that way.
All right, now for the high school people out there watching and the college age men and women out there, what shouldn't you do? What's the one thing you see everybody do all the time that's a big no-no that maybe you find? Letting go of the ropes is a big no-no, right?
Letting go of the ropes is a big no-no.
And throwing your hands into the air like a roller coaster, that's not allowed.
Nope, not on the toboggan chutes. Got to hold on to those ropes so you stay on the toboggan.
Now inside the concrete too, there's actual refrigerant, much like the refrigerator at home, that creates the ice. What are the ideal temperatures where you can make ice here at the Chalet for the toboggan run? And then how far into the spring is the facility open to take the sleds down the hill?
Well, we're actually open to up to the first weekend in March, and we have diethylene glycol is what keeps the refrigerated chutes cool.
That's not something I'm going to brush my teeth with, is it?
Yeah, exactly. I can't even pronounce it. But anyways, we can operate up to 60 degrees if it's 60 degrees out. Once it goes over 60 degrees, it's really hard to keep the ice frozen on the chutes. But yeah, we can operate up to 60 degrees. Ideal conditions for operating the chutes is freezing, so below 30 degrees. So.
Now, we were talking too with Chris, who's a part of the maintenance staff here, that you can actually get some higher speeds when it's raining. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think that's something I'd want to do, is climb all those steps to the top of the hill in the rain.
Yeah, well, actually, it's pretty popular. Even when it rains out, we have people here tobogganing.
Really?
Yeah, they're dedicated tobogganers, so it's pretty funny. And it does get a lot faster. On a good day, it's up to 30 miles per hour. If it's raining out, the ice gets a lot slicker, and you can get up to 50 miles per hour on the chutes.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and we don't need a helmet to do this. Again, the only requirement probably is to have gloves and to dress warmly.
Yep, sure is. And that's it. Gloves, dress warmly. Got to be 42 inches or taller to ride, and that's it. That's our main requirements.
Now, we're good to go, you and I. What do you say we take one of these toboggans for a run down the hill and show our viewers at home exactly just how fast these toboggans get going and what it's like right on the nose of the sled. We'll point the camera at ourselves. Let everybody see just how quick and how fast and how exhilarating and fun a ride here on the toboggans at the Chalet can be. What do you say?
Sure, why not? Let's go.
All right, before you just hop on a sled and go down the chutes, though, you have to know how to sit in the sled and how to hold the ropes, and we're going to let Carolyn show us exactly how to do that.
Okay, well, basically you're going to sit on the toboggan like this. The first thing you want is your feet up here against this piece of wood. And also you're going to move your hands up here, hold on to the farthest rope in the front that you can, and what you're going to do is your palms are going to be out like this. Everybody must wear gloves, so gloves are a definite must. Your palms out like this, hold on to the ropes, and away we go. Also, one of the things, if you have a person behind you, they're going to sit down behind you, you're going to hold your arms up as you're loading the toboggan, okay? All right. And what you're going to do, arms up, hold on, and then once the person has their legs around you, then you're going to grab onto the rope as far to the front as you can get, and palms out and hold onto the rope, and that's it. Away you go.
Yeah, it's going to work.
Well, Carolyn, you and I are strapped in here on the sled, so to speak. We're sitting in the proper position. We're holding the ropes just right. Before we go down, how fast can we get going, though?
Up to 50 miles per hour.
Did you say 50? 50?
50, yep.
Oh. All right, Chris, let it rip. Here we go. 50 miles an hour, huh?
Yep. We might not get that fast today, though. Woo!
Whoa! You folks at home can see firsthand what this is like. Wow. We're going to go right off the end. Look at this.
Yep. Yeah. Okay,
Girls ready?
Yes.
Have fun.
And this is what it feels like to go on a toboggan chute.
We go really fast.
Really, really fast.
Now we're at the end. Oh, we get off.
Yep.
Now wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're right down chute level here, and you can see that these twin toboggan chutes are made of precast engineered concrete. Inside each chute are cooling tubes which allow the refrigerant to pass through and keep the chutes with about 1.5 inches of ice here in the bottom of the channel of the precast chute. The outside walls do not really have a lot of ice. It only works about 2 or 3 inches up the side. But they can keep these chutes frozen right up through the month of March, and it's a great family fun time to be able to get on a toboggan and take 2, 3, 4 of your friends or family members down here. But again, the ice is 1.5 inches thick. And this is where the toboggan rides, right in the bottom of the chute when it comes down from the top of the hill.
Different color hat. There's Ben, okay.
Did you go in front then? Yeah. How'd you like it?
Oh, you went in first?
Oh.
Pick up the end. Pick up the front end. Wait.
Let's do that again. Oh, here they come.
You guys are gone.
That was awesome.
Guys, so long. I should smell burning rubber.
That's not rubber.
What took you guys so long?
Yeah, that burning smell, that's not rubber.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first part of tonight's show. That was a little bit of tobogganing here in Northeast Ohio and what that's all like at the Chalet in Strongsville. Up next, though, speed skating. I bet a lot of you didn't know this, but there's speed skating taking place year-round here in the Northeast Ohio area. There are 6 speed skating clubs, and we're going to talk about them as well as the Ohio Speed Skating Association. Our next guest, Tom Franks, president of the Ohio Speed Skating Association, joins us here on One Man Show. Tom, how long have you been personally involved? Great music here as we start our conversation. Tom, how long have you been personally involved with Ohio speed skating as well as some of the clubs at Winterhurst here in Northeast Ohio? You've got clubs in Cleveland Heights all around. How long have you been involved and what's your role in everything?
I've been president now I'm going into my 5th year, so I'm in my 3rd and final term. I started helping out with speed skating about 8 years ago when my son Nicholas started skating. So I've been an officer, as I mentioned, president for this is the 5th year now. My responsibilities, I'm in charge of trying to help out all the various clubs throughout the state of Ohio, and there are 5 of them right now in Cleveland Heights, Elyria, North Coast Club down in Strongsville, and the club here, the Lakewood here at Winterhurst, plus a club that developed soon after the 2002 Olympics, the Chiller down in the Columbus area.
It's shiny. I'm a natural. Camera. Technology. Let's go.
There's certainly a distinction between the types of skates, Tom. Name the different types of skates and the comparison, rather, between speed skates, figure skates, and ice hockey skates.
Well, figure skates have a little bit bigger blade, and they have some teeth on the toes that help them with their spins. Hockey are rounded, and if you take a look at a speed skate blades are the longest of them all. They extend in front and behind the boot. They extend out, and it's a 2-edged blade. It's like I said, the longest of them all.
First, second, third. Okay, everybody else in the middle. You're going to do. You guys do 2 laps? Yeah. Okay, 2 laps on and 2 off, and I'll tell you we're going to go for 5 minutes, and I'll tell you when the time's up. Okay? Not a race. Do a lap. 5 minutes.
As far as practices, what type of practices and drills are our viewers seeing here tonight? We've seen some little cones, little marks out on the ice, kids pushing each other, stops and starts, but what makes up a typical practice as far as speed skating goes, when the kids get ready for the big competitions?
You may see practice starts. You'll see warm-ups, and then you'll see all-out racing going on, just individual racing, how fast you can do 6 laps, 5 laps, 4 laps, tempos, things like that. Passing drills, you may see that. Every night's practice is different. They focus in on something different. You may see some relay races even going on. Any one of those young skaters who goes out on the ice has a chance at being an Olympic star. We had a young man, Scott Kuntz, in 1998 from this area who made the Olympic team. And 4 years ago, we had Mary Griglack and Ron Biondo from this area, too, who made the Olympic team. So, yes, any one of those skaters out there can make the team. Again, I just want to remind the public, go to ohiospeedskating.com. We have 4 clubs here in northeastern Ohio, one down in Columbus. If you're interested in skating, there's contact information there. There's the days of the week with which these individual clubs practice. Some have costs. Check it out. We'd love to see you on the ice. Z, you were asking me about practices here at Lakewood and at other rinks, and folks, what you're looking at is the corner on the track where the black markers are. There's actually anywhere from 3 to 5 dots embedded in the ice where those markers get moved. It's the practice, and the races go on. We dump water on the corners there to maintain the track, to hopefully help there not be any grooves on the corners as the skaters come around the bend. And pads on the corners too, to protect the skaters if they should fall coming out of the bend. If that's what you...
What was that fella doing with the cones out there now? I noticed he was moving them out.
He was changing the track. So he's moving to the outer track now. And they'll do that at the far end as well, although the markers on the far end will be moved closer to us. So the whole track moves one way or the other, keeping the distance the same. And then they'll spread water there or push water around there to help maintain the track, as I mentioned, so that there's no grooves.
Now, if we look off to our viewers left here on the television screen tonight, Tom, what do we have going on? What type of practice? I think we have a practice here tonight, don't we?
Tonight we have the Lakewood Club practicing. It's Wednesday night skate, 7:30 to 8:30, and they're out there doing their drills, trying to get ready for upcoming meets.
You know, hold on there a minute, Tom. Let me interrupt you. You know, what does it take to be a coach and to be able to teach young kids the art of and the sport of speed skating, you know, when they get involved at age 4 and 5? And does what you have to show them and teach them change as they get older, 12, 15, 18, 20 years of age?
Well, you need to be able to skate for the most part. You need to know, you know, what happens out there on the ice, what's supposed to happen out there on the ice. U.S. Speed Skating, the national governing body now, has coaching courses from a novice, level 1, level 2, level 3 coaching courses, which helps those interested in being coaches know exactly what to teach beginners, intermediates, and those who've been at it for a while. The more successful coaches generally are former skaters. You see the national team coaches that we have, all of them are former skaters in either the U.S. or some other country. They have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, and they do well.
Come on, guys. Who's on this? I need 4 on my team. Come on. You guys gotta get in the skating position. And keep your... David, we need you. Come on, David. Come on, buddy. Listen, when you're doing this, guys, when you're going like this, guys, you have to stay down. Keep your feet straight up and down. I don't want you to be on your inside edges or outside edges. When you're going around the corner, okay, hip in and just turn your blade a little bit. We're going to go around. Come on, Dave. You're going to be spearing. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. Keep your arms straight. Go. Don't stay. I'm going to stay. You guys. Go.
Z, I'd like to tell you about the Ohio State Short Track Championships again, if I could. They're going to be here at Winterhurst in Lakewood, Ohio on Sunday, February the 5th. Racing is going to begin at about 8:30 in the morning, and it should be all done by about 2:30 in the afternoon. Admission is free to the general public, so we want to encourage everybody to come on up and give local short track speed skating a try. I mean, you'll be watching it on the Olympics as Apollo Ono and the rest of the short track team takes off over in Italy and tries to go after the gold again like they did in Salt Lake City almost 4 years ago now. What happens here is that the 5 clubs from around the state of Ohio, again, Cleveland Heights, Elyria, Winterhurst, North Coast, and the Chiller, we'll send representatives up here. Everybody's welcome to skate in this competition that belongs to the clubs. They're divided up into age groups, and they go after championships in their individual age divisions. Should be a lot of fun seeing the young ones all the way up to the masters skate. Right here again at Winterhurst.
Hair blew. I'm trying to. I'm going.
I knew it was doing that too. I was like, oh gosh.
We're on one-man show.